ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Harihi Om. Om. O gods, may we always hear with our ears what is auspicious. O worshipful ones, may we with our eyes always see what is auspicious. May we live our allotted life hale and hearty, offering our worship unto thee. May Indra of ancient fame bestow auspiciousness on all of us. May the all-nourishing portion be propitious to all of us. May Garuda, the destroyer of all evil, be well disposed towards all of us. May Brihaspati ensure all our welfare. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. In our last class of this Kaivalya Upanishad, we have completed the second mantra and also discussing the third mantra. The third mantra is the answer of Brahma to Ashvalayana, who asked him, help me realize that I am Brahman. Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. And to him, the Parameshti means Pitamaha, grandfather, grandsir. Tasmai Sahovacha Pitamahascha Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat Avaihi. You can definitely realize, but certain spiritual qualifications you must acquire. You must have Shraddha, you must have Bhakti, and you must have Dhyana. I mentioned it that all the four yogas, that was Swami Vivekananda's grand idea, harmony. Every yoga must be utilized. No yoga must be side-tracked. That is why our very emblem that Swami Vivekananda had created for the Ramakrishna order contains all the four yogas, and if they are harmoniously but judiciously brought together in one's life, then it is inevitable that we realize God, which is represented by the Hamsa. Hamsa means Hamsa reversal is Soham, I am He, I am He, I am Brahman. We discussed these points, and we also said that it also can mean Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Either way we put it, we have to do sadhana. Then Brahma further continues his instructions. So, what are useful for the realization and what are not useful for realization of Brahman? Always let us keep in mind, realization means becoming one. Even the English word realization has a beautiful meaning. Realization means everything is real, which automatically indicates that we are not having real reality. We are only having thinking what is not real as real. So, what are those things? In the third mantra, na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena. These three things are not capable of bestowing that God realization upon us. That is what it means. Karmana means by any amount of activity. Why activity is activity completely useless, and why activity cannot help us in the realization of Brahman? Very simple logic is used by Advaitins, especially by Shankaracharya and Gaudapadacharya also. What is the logic? Karma has a beginning and it continues and has an end. And therefore, anything that begins must end. The result of a limited effort cannot give infinite result, unlimited result. Whatever begins, the result also has a beginning, result also will have an end. That is why karmana. And then it is a tendency. The more a person goes on doing things, there is every likelihood that the mind becomes even more restless, even more desire ridden. Therefore, na karmana. Through activities, it is not possible to realize God. But it doesn't mean activities are completely useless. Activities, the same activities which can bind us, can also help us to get out. In fact, every sadhana is endowed only with activity. No action, no sadhana. Sadhana means effort. Effort means activity. So these very activities, positively, spiritually directed towards God, God oriented. That is called karma yoga. So there are two words we can remember. Karma yoga means activities which join us with God. Karma bhoga, and which activities which lead us towards enjoyment of this world. Other words, prayaha, sreyaha, for both. Karma is the means. Karma phala will not be endless, but karma can take us to the very edge, like the Satvika robber can take the pilgrim to the edge of the forest and show the home, say, there is your home, now you go, but I cannot come because I am also one of the robbers. What is robbing? Binding a person through the limitation of time, space, and causation. Similarly, na prajaya. Here, praja means any type of relationship. So, if the relationships are worldly relationships, definitely they are going to take, take us more and deeper into the world. But if the same activities, same relationships, because relationship must manifest in the form of activity. No mother goes on telling, I love my baby, and will not do any action. That is a completely useless way of showing the love. Every positive emotion must end in the manifestation of a positive action. So, Prajaya, but the same relationship, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atidhi Devo Bhava, Sarvam Devo Bhava. That means what? We are already having relationship, but let us sublimate the relationship what I am having a relationship with, attached to, is God only. This is prajaya. Dhanena. Wealth also, it is an instrument. Positively used, it is going to take us to God. Negatively used, it will bind us more and more. So in this world, or the whole world, is represented by these three: karma, relationship, and wealth. So activity, relationship, and wealth. By that, not possible. Then how is it possible? That is explained, taught to this earnest disciple Ashvalayana, by whom? By Brahma himself. Tyagena eke amrutatva manashu. Eke means a few selected spiritual aspirants. That means those who have succeeded in realizing God, they attained. Amrutatva means immortality. Anashuhu means attained. How? Tyagena ekena. That is why Tyageshwara he naravara deha pode anurag. Sri Ramakrishna is called Tyageshwara. Oh Lord, grant me a little bit of that Tyaga. What is Tyaga? Tyaga, many people misinterpret or inadequately interpret giving up. Even wealth, etc., given up. That is, given to the poor, helping, serving, etc., to the poor. Actually speaking, it is not losing, but it is gaining. And this business with God, it will never fail unless or unlike all the other businesses. It will give us tremendous amount of punyam. In fact, it is said 1,000 times it gives. There is a small incident. This we may not find in the Vyasa Bharata, but in the local Bharatas or some people's interpretation. And in the gospel, we get it. One day, Yudhishthira wanted to give both his papam and punyam to Bhagavan Krishna, offer everything. Then Bhima, sometimes he was wiser than his eldest brother. So he came and told him, Dada, you are committing a terrible mistake. Offer punyam, don't offer papam. And then he explained, whatever we offer to Krishna, it will come back a millionfold. If you offer punyam, it will come a millionfold. If you offer papam, it will also come a millionfold. No, you just offer punyam, it will come back to you in a millionfold. If you don't offer papam, you only have to suffer a little bit of the papam. Very business-like astuteness is there in Bhimasen. But according to scriptures, punyam is also papam. Why? Because it entails rebirth, punarjanma. That is why only Tyaga is there. What is Tyaga? Tyaga is simple understanding. What is that understanding? Oh Lord, I have nothing to give to you. Everything belongs to you. The whole world belongs to you. I am also part of the world. I also belong to you. And everything in this world, a flower, a fruit, or a leaf, or a bit of water, whatever it is, one can offer house, one can offer cloth, one can offer money, one can offer tanu, mana, dhana, everything one should offer. If we offer this thing to God, it is not offering to God, it is showing our gratefulness. Like a baby, while sitting in the lap of the mother and eating the food given by the mother, probably feels guilty. I also must feed mother. And in the same small cup which mother has kept baby food, he takes a teeny weeny bit with his little finger and offers it to mother. And mother is highly pleased. But she knows that baby belongs to me, the food I am giving belongs to me, but the baby is showing devotion through the means of patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. They are not important, but by showing them the spirit behind that everything belongs to you, the whole world made up of panchabhutas belong to you. That is why whenever we do aratrikam, we offer 5 items to the Divine Lord. We offer the deepa, then water, then cloth, then flower, and finally chamara, symbolizing symbols of the panchabhutas. That means I am made up of panchabhutas. Panchabhutas are belonging to you. You are the panchabhutas. So I do not exist separately. If I think I'm existing, that is called ahankara. If I think I have no separate existence from you, that is called aham. So the whole aratrikam is so symbolic of that. This is the meaning of Tyaga, and Sri Ramakrishna had squeezed the very essence of Gita. What is the meaning of Gita? So a few times you utter very fast this word, chant the word Gita, 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 Gi means Tyaga. What is it? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. This is the only way. Amrutatvam anashahu. People who understood had completely surrendered themselves, surrendered their ism, egoism, kara, ahankara, and they simply realized we were immortal all the time, but we did not understand it. Now the change has come only in the understanding. I am an individual. No, now I am none other than Brahman, and there is nothing else other than Brahman. And then it is extremely difficult. Only few people can realize why parena nakam nihitam guhayam. This Brahma Vidya, the knowledge that my real nature, aham Brahma, this one, nihitam guhayam, deeply hidden. Nihitam means hidden, guhayam, deeply hidden. Where pareda nakam. This word nakam is a beautiful word. In Upanishadic language, this word kam means sukham. Na kam becomes nakam. That means no happiness. That is to say, nakam usually is translated as Swargaloka, higher world. And the highest of these higher worlds is called Brahmaloka, the world of the creator, Saguna Brahma or Savikalpa Samadhi. But even that happiness is completely irrelevant, completely limited. So that is called Nakam. But Parena, but even higher, highest than even Brahmaloka is this Parena, means it is other than Brahmaloka, superior to Brahmaloka. And Vibhrajate, there Brahman alone shines in the form of pure consciousness, aham, aham. And having known by the grace of God, yat, yatayaha vishanti. Yatayaha means yatis. Yati means yatna parayana. That means those who strive their level best. All strivings end only in one sadhana. What is it? Nothing belongs to me. I also do not belong to me. I am not, much less to say what I have is also not. Therefore, me and mine give up this identity And that is then becomes reality. And what is that reality? There, Brahman alone shines, Vibrajate, and that is the state of knowledge. I am pure, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Nitya, Swabhavaha. It is my real nature. That is what he says. That means in this particular third mantra, we are talking about, oh Mother, grant me viveka to know what is real, what is unreal, and lead me to the reality. Asatoma Sat Gamaya. And there is a beautiful stotram and composed by no less than Bhagavan Shankaracharya himself. It is called Annapurna Stotram. Mother Annapurna, she who sustains us through Anna, physical food, intellectual food, aesthetic food, moral food, finally spiritual food. Food is not, should not be confined only to what we eat. That's why Shankaracharya interprets this word viveka, that ahriyate iti annam, whatever is taken in, that through the five sense organs. What I eat through the eyes is annam. Similarly, through the ears, that is why we pray all the time that Bhadram Karnebihi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyema Akshabihi Yajatraha. So whatever we take in through the five sense organs, not only through the mouth, everything is nothing but pure Brahman. So that is why this particular shloka, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham, Bhiksham Dehi Kripa Avalambanakari, Mata Annapurneshwari. Bhiksham Dehi. Oh Mother Parvati, please grant me Bhiksha. What Bhiksha? Jnana, Vairagya, and Siddhi. Grant me true knowledge, the knowledge who I am. But if I want to get it and retain it, I require Vairagya. What is Vairagya? I must give up, like monkeys give up. See, monkeys are trained in some places like Vrindavan to snatch away the specks of the visitors. They are deliberately trained there. And then suddenly, I have witnessed it myself, suddenly it comes, sits on your shoulder and snatches it away without breaking, jumps out all within the twinkling of an eye, and it goes and sits on a high wall where you cannot reach. And then a fellow will come. Oh, your poor fellow, your specs have gone. I will get them back for you, but I require 100 rupees. That was several years back. Now they must have increased. Inflation, prices have gone up. And then you give 100 rupees. And then he has got a nearby shop that has a deep relationship with the shop. So he pays 10 rupees or 20 rupees and gets 2 laddus. And then he goes where this monkey knows that sweets are coming. So at the same time, he throws up both the sweets. Now the monkey wants to catch both because it's expert. So if these monkeys are trained in the cricket game, and then that team is sure to win. And the other, it will not take 5 minutes. This fellow can come and jump and hold the ball wherever you want to throw it. So such an expert, it has to necessarily give up. So if we want what mother is going to give to us, we will have to give up what we are holding with dear life. That is why Jnana. But Jnana must be supported by Vairagya. What is Vairagya? When the Divine Mother is gracious enough, we must give up just to retain something. what mother is giving. And then what does Gnana do? It will take us to the highest realization, Siddhyartham, and that is it. So mother gives not only physical sustenance, what is called gross sustenance, but even knowledge sustenance. Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati, the whole hymn is a marvelous hymn. When time comes, we can also take it as a uh, piece of contemplation. Jnana, Vairagya, Siddhartha. And these people, were a few people, are endowed with that. They are called yatis, yatna, rayanaha. That is, continuously they are going on striving. What do you attain? Amrutatvam, anashuhu. And they attain. So through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, our mind becomes pure. Ultimately, even we have to give up even this mind which has acquired these marvelous qualities. Because however positive, spiritual the mind itself is the greatest obstacle unless the mind is completely removed. This is what is called Savitarka Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi. Vikalpa means mind, purified mind. When Sri Krishna was taking sannyasa, then his Guru Totapuri instructed him, give up every thought. Sri Krishna said, I could give up every other thought. It is no big deal. But the very thought of my Anandamayi divine mother, blissful mother, is impossible. And then Totapuri took up a broken piece of glass, pierced the forehead of Sri Krishna, and meditate on this pain, because pain is the effective antidote to pleasure or joy or happiness. And then Sri Krishna removed. Now, what is the point? Even that, what is called Brahma Akara Vritti, is also a part of the mind. We have to go beyond the mind. And this marvelous truth has been said in the Mahabharata somewhere. I do not remember. Probably Shanti Parvam, Moksha Dharma Parvam. What does it say? Tyaja dharmam adharmancha ubhe satya anrute tyaja ubhe satya anrute tyaktva yena tyajasi tatyaja. Rarely I have found a beautiful shloka of this caliber. What does it say? First of all, give up adharma. How to give up adharma? By substituting, sublating adharma with dharma. But after that, you have to give also dharma. And also obey satya anrute. This is the what is called truthfulness, and this is called untruth. So in this world, when we say a person is observing truthfulness, he is a truthful person. It is purely related to our Vyavaharika Jagat, transactional world. Because I don't want to speak untruth. But when you are in deep sleep, you go beyond truth and untruth. But in the beginning, we have to hold on to truthfulness. So give up both Satya and Anruta. And then what remains is the highest reality called Brahman. But here the Mahabharata says, that is, Bhishma himself says, after giving up both the truth as well as untruth, Ube Satya Anrute Tyaktva, having given up both the truth and untruth also, Yena Tyajasi Tat Tyaja, by which instrument, meaning your refined, spiritualized mind, Tat Tyaja, give up that mind also. And that is what exactly what Patanjali Rishi says by defining yoga, chitta vritti nirodha. Everything is a vritti. Dharma is a vritti. Adharma is a vritti. Punya is a vritti. Papa is a vritti. Truth is a vritti. Untruth is a vritti. And happiness is a vritti. Unhappiness is a vritti. So even spirituality is a vritti. Worldliness is also a vritti. But in the beginning, we have to take what is helpful and then go beyond the mind like a pole vaulter. You know that sport, a person takes a big pole and he train himself. He rises up in the space 10 or 12 feet, and then when he reaches that bar which he has to cross, he will throw out this particular pole, because if he takes the pole, then the pole which he is supposed to cross will trip him down. There is no way. How beautiful it is. Tyaja dharmam adharmancha, ubhe satya anrute tyaja, ubhe satya anrute tyaktva, having succeeded in it, yena, by which instrument, which is called pure instrument, that which is called mind, pure mind, that, that also tyaja, give up. This is what it comes, tyaja. Now look at Sri Ramakrishna's prayer. Oh mother, here is your dharma, here is your adharma, and here is your punya papa, here is your good and evil. And then in the end says, I could not say, here is your truth and untruth. What does Sri Ramakrishna mean? Is he going against? Here clearly it says you have to give up truthfulness also. What truthfulness? Truthfulness is a concept in our mind, how we should conduct our life in this world, what attitude we must have. But what Sri Ramakrishna means is truthfulness is another name for God. I will give up everything excepting God. I will give up. And he says, here is your untruth. That means world. That means limitedness. That means mind. Even the purest mind compared to the reality is very limited. That is why even Brahmaloka is very limited. So that is what he says. And then one has to become a sannyasi. Again, the same problem will come. What is a sannyasi? Usually, a person has taken to a particular lifestyle. But no, that nigruhitasya manasaha, a person who has complete control over his mind, one's own house becomes vanam. It becomes an ashrama. He is a sannyasi. That is what Bhagavan says. Na niragnihi na cha kriyaha. He who gives up kama, krodha, etc., all the desires. He is called real sannyasi. So, na niragnihi na cha kriyaha. One who is without fire, that means lives on, never cooks anything, and nacha kriya. That means he is not engaged in any worldly activities, but only engaged totally in only thinking about God. So one has to go beyond. Such a person is called sannyasi. Such a lifestyle is called sannyasa, not the lifestyle that we are accustomed here. That is why when we do sashtanga pranam, so there are three types of pranams. Axe bending pranama. Then we just bend a little bit with folded hands, namaskara. And in South India, it is very common. Sashtanga pranama is there. Sashtanga means all the faculties of my body and mind, I completely surrender. What Bhagavan Krishna summarized at the end of the Gita teaching, Sarvadharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. That is the meaning of Sashtanga Namaskara. And who has succeeded in giving up is called a real sannyasi. Otherwise, sannyasa is helpful, no doubt about it. But sannyasa also can terribly bind us. And it is very sad how sannyasins indulge so freely in politics, becomes jealous of each other, even killing each other, fighting, killing for power, for a little bit of honor, etc. It is really, really terrible. So, this is what Upanishad says, Tyagena Ikena Amrutatvam Anashu. Only is complete giving up, like Prahlada, like Kaliya, like Girish Chandra Ghosh, complete self-surrender to God, truth, that is the only way to attain Amrutatvam. Anashu means attainment of Amrutatvam, not through Prajaya, Karmana, Dhanena, etc. Is not. This theme has been so beautifully described in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, especially Yajnavalkya. And he describes Putraishanayascha, Vittaishanayascha, Lokaishanayascha, Yuthaya, Atha Vikshacharyam Charanti. So he says there are people, enlightened people like Ashvalayana, he gives up. I don't want Putra because to Putra, the Pitruloka is attained. Through Vitta, the Swargaloka is attained. Lokaishana, I want to go to higher lokas. But a person says, we who are living in Atma Loka, we have nothing to do. We live. How do you live? Vikshacharyam. That is, depend totally upon Mother Annapurna. Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati. And this is the only way. It is not possible. Then what remains? Vibhrajate. That highest truth is ever shining there. That is, pure Chaitanyam is there. In Jagrata Avastha, it is there, mixed up with body, mind. In Sushupti, dream state, the Chaitanyam is there, Chidabhasa Rupena, in the form of identification with the mind. Remember, in the waking state, identified both with the body and mind. In the dream state, identified only with the mind or memories, samskaras, and in the deep sleep state, identified with both these things, but only I am in the Sushupti state. I am called Prajna. I am in a blissful state. But since that comes to an end, it is a conditional state, it is a limited state, and therefore it is called, though called Anandamaya Kosha, but it is very limited. So that which is beyond Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Mavaiti Nityam, Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham, Nacha Bhuta Sangha, Pratah Smarami Sriti Samsmaradatma Tattvam, Satchit Sukham, Paramahamsa Gatim Turiyam, Yat Swapna, Jagara Sushuptim, Avaiti Nityam, Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham. See, that is the marvelous early morning stotram, Pratah Smarami. Everybody should get up and remember. If he is a bhakta, he should remember, I am a child of Sri Ramakrishna, I am child of Holy Mother. As Swamiji says, do not ever forget you are a child of a great rishi. About himself he is telling. So, this indicated what will not take us to reality, what alone can take us reality, and that reality is deeply hidden, and very few people, only by God's grace, who are successful in completely surrendering themselves to the God by the grace of God. That is what Bhagavan Krishna says, Aham tva sarva papebhyo. Sarva papa means what? All bonds. I will completely cut if you surrender yourself to me, and then I will take care of you. That is what we have to understand it. And then we come to the fourth mantra. These beautiful mantras. Only this Upanishad consists of about 25, sometimes counted as 26. So we are entering into the fourth mantra. Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartha Sannyasa Yoga yatayah shuddha sattvaha te brahmalokeshu parantakaale paramrutaha parimuchyanti sarve. Those who are pure in mind, striving through the path of renunciation, come to ascertain clearly the deeper import of all the scriptures, knowledge, which is the theme of Upanishad, also called Vedanta. They alone, in the end, gain the world of Brahman and liberating themselves from everything, gain the highest immortality. So the ideas we have discussed, so we can quickly go through them. Who are these people who are completely fit? And it is assured when we were studying the Katha Upanishad, the Yamadharma Raja had tested Nachiketas very much, and completely he himself was ashamed that I did not attain this knowledge. I did not possess so much of vairagyam. Look, I remember that once Swami Vivekananda, his mind was raging with vairagyam, and day and night he was striving to move forward towards realization of God. And that vairagyam and what he was doing highly, mightily impressed many of the Sri Ramakrishna's devotees. And they must have reported it. Sir, nowadays we see that Narendra, his mind is attuned to very, very high ideal. And then one day, Ramakrishna, in the course of conversation, he referred. Do you know what he referred? I hope at least you remember. Sri Ramakrishna was telling, yes, it is very good, but compared to what storm had taken place in this, meaning his life, it is nothing. Swami Sharadananda was making his own thoughtful annotations, not annoyances. Be careful about it. Annotations. He said, hearing Sri Ramakrishna's words, we were astounded because we cannot comprehend even Narendra's vairagya and striving. And Sri Ramakrishna says, it is nothing compared to what happened here. And how great Ramakrishna's vairagya must be there. It's impossible to understand. So there are these people wholeheartedly striven. And as Sri Ramakrishna says, if you move towards God one step, he will come running to you 100 steps. So that means he is more eager for your realization than you yourself are. There was an incident. It was the second or third visit of future Swami Niranjananandaji, Niranjan. And Sri Ramakrishna used to talk about him. My Niranjan has no anjan. That is, not even a teeny weeny bit of anjana means stain, pure-hearted person. But when this young man had come to visit Sri Ramakrishna second time or third time, Sri Ramakrishna was as if waiting. And then as soon as he espied him from a distance, he ran and enveloping this young man in his embrace, he said, my boy, days are passing. When are you going to realize God? And then this young man, later on, he was expressing, even I am not so anxious to realize God. But how astonishing. This person is more concerned about my God realization than I myself am concerned. Because Ramakrishna, like a mother, when is my child going to grow up and claim his inheritance, which is mukti? So these people are given beautiful epithet, Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchita Arthaha. Vedanta. Another name for Upanishads is Vedanta. Whenever you hear Upanishad, you have to keep in mind Upanishads are nothing but go by another name called Vedanta. What is Vedanta? The very essence of all the Vedas put together, the very essence of all the realizations of every realized soul in the past, present, and future, that is called Vedanta. And what does the Upanishad say? Vijnanam. That is Vishesha Jnanam. What is that Vishesha Jnanam? Brahman alone is real. Jagat, what is called Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. This is the highest Vijnana. And then Sunischita Artha. The Artha means this is the highest truth. And Sunischita, these people, because of they have become adhikaris, they have obtained sadhana, chatushtaya sampatti, so they have become 100% convinced through Shravana, Manana, and now they have to do Nididhyasana. So these people are 100%, 150% convinced. The only thing worth striving for in life is God realization. And then what do they do? Sannyasa yoga. They adopt that peculiar lifestyle called sannyasa. Again, as I mentioned, sannyasa could be, there are some people who have no responsibilities and they come out and they take to a special lifestyle called sannyasa ashrama. But they are also included true sannyasins. But very often, that very ashrama removes all anxiety from their minds and they want to strive very much further. But real sannyasa belongs to the mind. He who had colored his mind with complete viveka and vairagya. There is a beautiful song composed by a great devotee on Sri Ramakrishna on 1st January every year. As you know, we celebrate this Kalpataru Day. And early morning, a sannyasin will be leading, and one of the songs and singing this song for a long time. They go round and round the temple at Belur Math. This is the song. Eshache Nutan Manush, Deg Bijadi Aichale. A new man has come. And this is the new man of this age. We are all not really men because we are living still in that pre Ramakrishna, that means unspiritual world. Tar Vivek Vairagya Dui Kande Jhule. He has got two bags. One is called Viveka, another is called Vairagya. And they are hanging from both shoulders of this new man, S.H.A. Nutan Manush. And incidentally, there is a very great Swami in our order. Name is Swami Bhajanananda. He had written a beautiful book, The Man of the New Age Man, on Sri Ramakrishna, exclusively on this idea. Very, very beautiful exposition. And that is called Sannyasa Yoga. That is Sannyasa. I give up I and mine. I surrender myself to God. And these are the people, their only sole goal is to realize God. And they are Shuddha Sattvas. Their mind have become pure. In this sense, there is only one desire left out, and that desire is how to reach God, how soon to reach God and become one with God. And these people, they do everything that is possible. That's why they are called Yatayaha. Yatayaha means Yatna Parayana. 24 hours. So there is no such thing. Few hours you think about God, pray to God, remember God. So Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Remember me and go on fighting. Not any external war, but the war that is going on continuously between the Daivas and Asuras, between worldly pull and the spiritual pull. They are people. What do they get? They, such type of people, as described earlier, Brahma Lokeshu Parantakale. These people, Parantakale. Antakala means death. The last, what is called time. That is death. But this is Para, means supreme death. That means is an eternal death. That means they are not going to have any rebirth. That is their last birth. Where do they go? Brahma Lokeshu. They attain to the world of Brahman, not Brahma. They are not talking about Brahma Loka. We are talking about Brahman's Loka. Other words, Aham Brahmasmi, that knowledge. And then what do they get? Paramritaha. They attain to the highest immortality. Are there two immortalities? Highest and lowest? Yes. Lowest immortality. Immortality means what? Happiness. So if we go to Indra Loka, Prajapati Loka, Gandharva Loka, Yaksha Loka, there are innumerable higher worlds. Really, 7 higher worlds are there. And if we go to those worlds, our happiness increases exponentially, not little, not 100 times. Ete shata ananda. No, no. It is billion times, incomparable. But this samrita is they don't enjoy objectively, they become happiness themselves, ananda themselves. That is called paramrita. Amrita means immortality. That means there will be no question of birth at all. Even the thought about birth doesn't arise. And then sarve parimuchyanti. All of them become completely liberated. So this is the meaning. Those who are pure in mind, that is yogis, chitta vritti, nirodha, they have, but only one, what is called that what is called Brahma Akara Vritti. That is, I want only Brahman. Striving through the path of renunciation, come to ascertain clearly the deeper imports of knowledge or Upanishads, which is the theme of the Upanishads. They alone, that is called sannyasa yoga. These sannyasa yogins in the end gain the world of Brahman and liberating themselves from all trammels, all what is called 3 avasthas. Avastha traya vilakshanaha, becoming completely separate from the Jagrat Swapna Sushupti, what is called Turiya Avastha. So they attain and they are never going to return. Swami Vivekananda was an ease, I would say, because physically speaking, he was, but spiritually speaking, he is there. And he himself had declared that it is better that I give up this body, which is not allowing me to do what I want to do, but I will remain for a long time and I will not rest until I make every man and woman and child realize that they are one with God. I will go on inspiring them. And his greatest composition, the Song of the Sannyasin, that this should be chanted practically every day if possible. Otherwise, remember the very title, Song of the Sannyasa Yogins, Sannyasin. I will just read out, but that will be very important for us. Strike off their fetters, bonds that bind thee down, of shining gold or darker, baser ore. Love, hate, good, bad, and all the dual throng. No, slave is slave, caressed or whipped, not free. For fetters, though of gold, are not less strong to bind. Then off with them, sannyasin bold, say, Om Tat Sat Om. Let darkness go, reveal the wisp that leads with blinking light to pile more gloom on gloom. This thirst for life, forever quench, it drags from birth to death, and death to birth a soul. He conquers all, who conquers self. Know this, and never yield. Sannyasin bold, say, Om Tat Sat Om. They know not truth, who dream such vacant dreams as father, mother, children, wife, and friend. The sexless self, Whose father he? Whose child? Whose friend? Whose foe is he? Who is but one? The self is all in all, none else exists. And thou art that sannyasin bold. Say, Om Tat Sat Om. Here I want to insert, just see, we have done this Bhaja Govinda Stotram. Kate Kanta Kaste Putraha Koyam Prataha Ativa. So all these attachments, who is father, who is mother, ko mata, ko pita, ko brata, astvam, kutayataha, tatvam chintaya, tadiha brataha. Think of the reality. And Swamiji, in this marvelous English words, selected English words, is echoing the same thing. And then he says, there is but one, the free, the knower, the self, without a name, without a form or stain. In him is Maya, dreaming all this dream. The witness, he appears as nature, soul. Know the word that sannyas in bold say, Om Tat Sat Om. This is what Shankaracharya had summarized. Brahma Satyam is what he said earlier. He who is but one, the self is all in all, none else exists. And thou art that sannyasin bold, Brahma Satyam. What is Jagan Mithya? Without a name, without a form or stain. In him is Maya, naming all this dream. The witness, he appears as nature, soul. Know the word that sannyasin bold say, Om Tat Sat Om. So those who make proper effort and whose minds are pure, who have well ascertained and have clear knowledge of Vedanta, because of a life of sannyasa, they at the time of the resolution of the individuality in Brahman, all of them, without exception, are released from the unmanifest karma. So the same thing, there is something very interesting as when a sannyasin is to be welcomed. This is a very much in the temples, in houses, especially in South India. This tradition is very much alive. So certain things, just like earlier we have said that one, Vedanta, Vijnana, Sunichitatha, that was one of them. Second, Dharam Vipapam, Parameshma Bhutam, Et Pundarikam, Puramathyastagam, Tatrapi Dharam, Gaganam Vishokam, Tasmin Yat Antaha, Tat Upasitavyam. These are very appropriate shlokas for the sake of sannyasa. And we will go a little bit further into this, not much, and we will continue into the 5th to 11th mantras, how meditation has to be done. And from here only, Bhagavan Krishna had borrowed the entire 6th chapter called Dhyana Yoga. We will talk about it in our next class. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. May Sri Ram Krishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda bless us all with bhakti. Jai Ramakrishna.